Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to my next project, which is converting a classical guitar into an acoustic guitar. So I did upload an introduction to this project and showing one of these jobs that I've already done. So I know it's possible to convert the classical guitar into an acoustic guitar because I've done it before. So I'm doing it to this one. So I said that for that project, I'd removed the neck, cut it all down and the fretboard to the width of an acoustic guitar neck, and filled in all the holes in the headstock where the tuners were and these big slots, covered the whole thing in veneer and then re-drilled the tuner holes for acoustic style tuners. Well, I'm not going to do that with this one. I have got an acoustic guitar neck here with the fretboard and truss rod. I'm going to hopefully use this to go in here and save this neck as a spare. The only problem with this is it doesn't have a dovetail joint on the heel, and it's a bit short and also not straight. So I've got to sort that out, but we'll come to that much later. So I'm not going to take the tuners out of this because I'm not going to be using this neck, hopefully, and I'm just taking the neck out. So the tuners might will stay in there. That way they're not, not going to get lost or damaged. So the first thing I need to do is, well, there's three things I've got to do before I can do anything. The guitar's already stripped down in that there's no strings on it, the saddle's been taken out, and also being a semi-electric, it has a pickup in there, which I've taken out. And the first job I've got to do is remove the bridge, and then I've got to remove the neck, the fretboard and the neck. So without further ado, let's crack on. So I've got my iron here. I'll just switch that on, ready to heat up. Zoom in a bit. There we go. Okay, so first job is to remove this bridge. I've got a couple of spatulas here. Now normally when you're removing the bridge from a guitar, you've got to be really careful not to damage the finish around it with the tools you're using to remove the bridge and also the heat from the iron. But I'm going to be refinishing the whole top of this guitar because when I take this bridge off there's going to be bare wood underneath, so it's got to be refinished anyway. Right, so let's start by removing this bridge. So I'm just doing to one side of it on the wing, just applying a little bit of heat, and we'll see if that starts to come up. Right, so okay, yeah, this side's already kind of unstuck. Let's see if I can get that longer one in there. Uh-oh. Right. Even though I don't want to damage the finish on this guitar, I certainly don't want to, I'm not bothered about damaging the finish, I don't want to damage the wood. So I was going at that a little bit fast there, so I'll just take my time. Whoa. That's not sounding good. Oh, okay. Oh, it's coming away really quick, so let's get some heat on the middle part now. Actually, no, I'm going to do the end, do both ends first and then the middle. So yeah, as I said, normally you'd be really careful not to damage the finish with your tool taking the bridge off and the heat from the iron. But like I said, once I remove this bridge, there's going to be bare wood underneath, and that's not going to match the footprint of an acoustic guitar bridge. So I've got to refinish it anyway. Right. See if that wing will come up now. Being careful not to burn myself on that iron. Let's move that out of the way. I know I'm going to burn myself. Okay. Yeah, it sounds and feels as though there's some kind of hide glue again under this bridge. I don't know why they do it. I mean, this is not an old guitar. They used to use the hide glue on older instruments many years ago, but why not use a good strong wood glue? That's my thoughts on it. Okay, that's coming out quite nicely. So now I'll heat the middle up. That should pop off fairly quickly. Hopefully pretty cleanly as well. Don't want to remove any bits of wood from the top of the guitar. Finish, fine, but not the wood. I'll just give that a little bit of extra time to heat that through, because that's obviously the thicker part of the bridge. I'll make sure we get some decent heat in there to soften the glue. How are we doing for time? Loads of time. Good. Right, let's try that now. Get that iron out of the way. Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. There we go. It's off. Wow, I don't believe it. I mean, it's no wonder it came off that easily. Look how... I was going to say how much glue there was on there, but there's not much glue on there. I mean, all along this edge, no glue at all. All along that edge, no glue at all. We got some there, and there, and, oh, sorry, there and there was some glue, and a little thin line of it here and here. Other than that, that's bare wood. There's no glue on there. Wow. So there's no wonder that came off easily, and it's nice and clean. There's a little bit of tear out, but nothing at all to be worried about. That's very, very little, really. And the top of the guitar is looking pretty good. Okay, so that was the easy part. Now I'm going to start to try to do the rest, do the same to the neck, dear me, come on. The fretboard. Right, so fretboards are notoriously more difficult than the bridges. So while that's warming up, you can't see, it's off camera, but I'm just going to tap the nut off. So you use a chisel, and what have I got for a hammer? Big old spanner. Okay. Just tap that nut off. Wow, that's on there. And again, I'm not too worried about damaging it. If it damages it, it's fine. Dang, that's on there. There we go. Right, so the nut's off. I'll put that in my tin. Right, let's see if this fretboard is going to start coming away. Okay, well, it's going under there. That's a good start. It started on both corners. Now, I don't know if there are any fixings holding this fretboard on. Sometimes there are, particularly on cheaper instruments. They'll use, you know, dowels or something like that, which can cause issues getting the fretboard off. But I honestly don't know at this stage. It's coming. It's going to be a little while, but got it started. Okay, let's get a bit of heat in that. It's quite satisfying removing things like this. Just zoom up a little bit. Ooh, wait. I mean, I've done so many of these now. The first one I did, it was as scary as hell. But I've done lots of these now, bridge removals, fretboard removals, and you know the process is pretty straightforward. Obviously, if you're doing it on a customer's guitar, it's scary. You don't want to go wrong. But like I said, the good thing about this, I'm going to be refinishing the whole top anyway, so I'm not worried about causing any light damage on it. I don't want to damage the wood, but any damage to the finish, I don't care. And once I've got it off the actual guitar body itself, it sometimes gets a bit easier after that. Not always, but sometimes. Dang. Yeah, I think this one might take a little while. Yeah, I've got a feeling there might be something securing that just about there. Maybe not. Right, so that's off up to there. I don't know, is there a fixing under there? Maybe not. Right, so that's this part of the fretboard off the guitar body. So it's the actual neck itself now. Put some heat into that. So when I took the neck, the fretboard off of the other guitar, underneath there were kind of, I don't know, carbon fibre rods, two of them that went all the way down the neck into the body. So I suspect this one might have the same. I'm not sure yet. Right, let's see if we can get a bit further on that. That's actually going pretty nicely. Right, let's go from the other side. Yeah, it's going pretty well. I mean, it's a good thing that I'm not bothered about the finish because I can get this done a bit faster. Ooh, dang. Okay, we're about halfway. That's not too bad. Sometimes these can be a real pig to do. Sometimes they just come off pretty easily. This is going pretty well. Just move that back a bit. Actually, I might zoom out a bit more. Keep going the wrong way. Okay. Right, so you can see all of what I'm doing now. Okay. Oh. Yeah, the longer one is working better for this particular one. Okay, didn't get very far with that one, but let's see if it'll go a bit more. There we go. Okay, won't be too long now. Final stretch, let's just get that. I'll leave the tool in there. Hopefully that'll get a bit of heat in it as well. Nearly there. And time is still on my side. Right, let's see how far we can get with that now. It might pop off this time. my hand out of the way, because if that does shoot through there, I don't want to cut my wrist. Oh dear. Okay, let's try the other side. Come on, nearly there. It's not going to take much more now to get that off. Come on. Right. Bit more heat in that. This should be the final push now. Whew. So unlike many other people, I don't edit my videos, so obviously this part has taken a little bit of time, but you'll see in every bit of it. Any mistakes I make, you'll see that too. But so far so good. I know that under this part on the body, a little bit of wood is stripped out, but it's stayed there, so I can glue that back in place. That won't be a problem. Okay, final part now. So top, it's going to go now. There we go. It's stuck a little bit there. Where's that stuck down there? Yeah, it has stripped a little bit of wood, but that's fine. Where are we stuck now? Yeah, so you can see it has stripped, that's weird, it's actually stripped the wood off the back of the fretboard, which as we can see now is ply. Okay, so I need to get the rest of the wood off of here to see how that neck is attached in there. Let me switch that iron off. So it does look a bit of a mess. It looks like, you know, it's taken a lot of wood off, which it has, but it's not going to be a problem at all. I can sort that out. This actually, overall, come off pretty cleanly. I'm quite happy with that. It looks a lot worse than it is, really. Right, so... how is that neck held in there then? I can't even see the join. That's interesting. Yeah. I can't see any join there at all. Oh, I know what that means then. There's no heel joint on this either. That's held in there with dowels. Oh dear. Okay, so there's no dovetail joint in there. It's pretty badly made, this guitar. So, what now? So, yeah, I've got to work on getting that neck off. It's obviously dowels, so I'm going to have to sort of do the same as I did with the bridge and the fretboard, but go down this seam and here. Both sides and the heel as well. I'm not going to film any more of that. It's kind of the same thing. And part 2 will be showing what it looks like when I got it off and what, you know, is going to be involved in replacing the neck. Yeah, it's a this guitar is pretty poor. I mean that. You know, you can see a join there, So I'm probably going to have to take all this off, and then I'll just put another very thin layer of wood over there to basically make that complete again. And with the neck, I'll just be taking all this off and sanding that smooth, and that'll be good to go. So I'm going to continue that off camera because I need some concentration for this bit. These are always tricky to do, but it's the same sort of principle. I'm going to be using heat, my spatula, and just wiggling it in there, softening the glue, and eventually, hopefully, it will pop off. Okay, so in part 2, what will I be doing in part 2? I don't know yet. But we'll see when that happens. Okay, so in the meantime, please look after yourselves, look after each other. We will see you soon. Peace out.